Hey Clashers, throwers have received an indirect buff with the last update. This means we have the life gem now way more efficient because you're getting more hit points, which is super crucial because we're not running the Eternal Tome, so having more hit points on your main carry, the throwers, is a big deal. On top of that, we have the new level for the healers, which means because the throwers and the warden have the same range, the warden is now less likely to go down because he has more healing on him. Which means this should be way stronger. On top of that, I know throwers are not as easy to actually play, but trust me, they're incredibly strong, and I will show you what tricks you have to do to actually make them work. So let's jump into the attacks. You can get a free Rune of Gold, and yes, you have heard that right. Supercell is celebrating the Valentine's Day, and because of that, they're giving away a free Rune of Gold to every player out there. All you have to do is use the link down below in the description, which is going to be this one, which is going to redirect you to the Supercell store. In this, you're going to you will get right away to this bottom part where you can use the code share the goal, which is this thing right here. I've already claimed it, no big surprise, but you can do that on every single one of your accounts. As well, this is overflowing, which means if you're already on the limit of your gold runes, you can get even more with using this link, and it's not like going to expire anything with using the gold rune and it's like disappearing or anything, okay? Really important. On top of that, there's a second code like this one, which is one magic gift, and it's going to give you a builder potion on top. If there's going to be any more codes in the future, I will let you know for sure, but that's a lot of free stuff already, which is really cool. And so make sure that you're using those codes. And as I said earlier, it's completely for free. You just have to make sure that you're having your Supercell ID linked on the Supercell store website. If you're on the website as well already and you want to get some more free stuff, there is as well the medals for the event, which you can claim always there. And on top of that, there's as well Valentine's offers. This is completely special because we never had that before. You can get the offer itself, you can buy it, and then you're going to get a link, like a gift code link, which you can then give to a friend, for example. If you're buying the first offer, you're going to get a builder potion, 3 trainings potion, and 2 research potions on top. The same for the second one, where you're going to get a bonus hero book, or for the last one, a universal book. Important note though, you cannot buy on one account those offers and claim with the same account those gift codes after. But if you have 2 accounts, like account A and B, you can buy on both accounts the offers and then cross over the links if you want to. And if you don't have a friend where you could I don't know, share happiness or something, I don't know, with the links right there, okay? But if you have 2 accounts, that works. Otherwise, it does not. If you want to buy anything on the store or in game or in general, make sure that you're supporting your favorite content creator out there. And if you want to support me, make sure that you're using credit code iTzu. I really appreciate that. But now, let's continue with the video and make sure that you are claiming your free stuff on the website. All links are in the description. Let's go. The most important thing really is to create that pathing for your next push. As well, Invis tower bases are typically no problem. As I said earlier, we have the giant arrow. And as well, if you want to, you can use as well the log launcher. But I think on this one, we don't really need that. For that, I think we're just going to one of those Invis towers and then just clear one of the corners to funnel. As I said, the funnel is key. Throwers have a long range, so they get really easily distracted. So that's what we're going to do on the bottom side. Clear out those buildings. With that, we obviously deploy the healers as well. And then we can enter from this far side. With that, we should be able to keep those throwers quite compact. Because I know this is the biggest problem for a lot of players. Let's use the wizard down here to help the warden so he does not take for too long. But I think we should actually invest rage because the value here looks really, really decent of what we can get. So I think that should be a good thing. As well, with using the double gem on the warden, we have insane DPS on this guy, which means we can do warden walks for quite some time because we are taking down a lot of buildings as well. So now let's use the rage because the defending queen is approaching. We are 2-shotting that queen. 3-shotting, okay, nearly. But with that, we can take down the scatter now. And then as soon as all of that's gone, we're going to enter into that left side here. 1 second, like this now. Yep, come back, perfect. We have the clan castle. Let's activate everything like this. Let's rage here, ping in as well. We can use the freeze here. We can use the... How do I do this? I think we're going to wall break. Okay, wall break. Hopefully it's not going to be... What's the wall break? Okay, wall break seems to be frozen or something. Let's wall break again. Yep, perfect. And then we can jump into the town hall. Well, the top side should be covered by our outside troops. It should be no problem. Let's use the jump now, just like this. I will open to the top compartment as well. We can use the king ability now. We have the root riders now from the siege to open up all of the compartments. The town hall should go down. We can use the royal champ ability. Let's distract it a little bit better. And this base should be like, it's already gone, right? Because, like, what is it supposed to do? The throwers cannot die. Okay, maybe they can because the healers are actually stuck on this one. But even with that, we have on every single thrower like over 3,000 hit points. That is just way too much for the base to handle. Like, even with all of the traps and everything, no chance. No chance of fighting back. This guy is special. But hey, it doesn't matter. It does not matter whatsoever. Let's turn this invisible. Let's rage this up. Baby dragons. Why not? Let's turn this invisible again. We still have the warn ability. If you're using double gem, by the way, the warn ability does, well, it gives you a couple of hit points. So it's not as crazy or anything. They don't really count on that on like giving you a huge power boost. It's just a couple of hit points or something. Let's turn that invisible again, and it's an easy 3-star. This is really, it's like really unfortunate that throwers, because they're not as easy to execute, are having a really bad reputation for whatever reason. But I hope I can like show you a couple of more attacks and show you really how strong they are, because in my opinion they are for sure one of the top strategies right now, or top troops for sure in the entire game. So let's do it again and let's have some more fun. Let's go. It's an Invest Tower base, which is hopefully no problem, but with that we want to trigger those with the giant arrow. With the warden, we're setting up the pathing and the funneling and everything. So let's have the start with that. You don't want to do that too long, but with the fireball, for example, you would do that quicker. But then you have the big issue of running into problems of keeping your healers alive, okay? So for this one, I think we're just going for this bottom side. There's not too many hit points and everything, so that should be somewhat quick. And then we can just enter from one of the sides and not give us any time issues. As well, as I just mentioned, the reason why I don't like the fireball as much, yes, it still works, but it's more risky in my opinion, because if you lose the healers with any of those smash attack types, this is really where you're struggling, because losing the healers with throwers, it is not nice whatsoever. So you have to be really, really careful with that, because, well, the life gem is keeping them alive way longer. You have splash of the multi-emperor towers, the town halls doing splash damage. There's a lot of things by now in the game which is dealing a lot of splash, so that's something to always keep in mind. For this one now, where are we entering? Actually, from the far right side might look better. So let's just change the plan. Let's see if that change of a plan was actually good or bad, but I guess we will find out in just a second. Let's activate the core like this. Let's have this right here. We can then jump into the core as well. Let's do it. Where do we jump? Maybe right here, because the throwers are inside there. Oh wait, actually the queen. Oh, I should have paid attention to the queen, but that's okay still. Let's use the king ability to make sure that he's like funneling and clearing everything, and he can now tank. Let's use the rage. Clan castles on the other side, so we have that any moment now, which we can then take down with our poison. The royal champion with her hot rider puppet, she always has this extra protection, which I really like about this combination. And then as well, the, as I said earlier, we just have the royal champion headhunter trying to distract stuff, and then we have still the royal champion on the back end supporting everything and such, so that's nice. Another thing which is always really funny to see is if you activate the warn ability with having a double gem, the only thing you get is like a couple of hit points back. That is like the funny thing here. Yeah, so if you use it right now, you see nothing happens except getting a couple of hit points back. That can be sometimes helpful if you're trying to, I don't know, for example, doing a warden walk in the beginning is maybe a bit too much damage on your warden. Just use the ability, because remember, it's not like important otherwise whatsoever. So now just deploy the remaining troops, and you see it's an easy overkill 3-star. This strategy is really just so underrated. It's really sad, but hey, play it. It's insane if you want to, obviously, but I just think throwers are such an insane troop, because they're just changing the name of the range game of bases so much that no base is prepared for that whatsoever, or they can't even prepare, because at some point the ranges are getting so long that if you want to defend that, you would need to like do crazy compartments, which is just not possible. So let's just hop into the next attack. For this one, we're going to use a replay to really make sure that I can talk to you through everything you have to consider with using this strategy. The first thing is always when we're picking the entry point when we're talking about a symmetrical base, I like to only go into one of the fire spitters at a time. This is why I would prefer to go into either this bottom right or this top left side. The reason why I'm going from the top side is because we have down here the clan castle. This is something which I more like to face later or like during the attack, especially because with the throwers, they have such long ranges that ice golems, they don't really care. Like, we don't really care about those clan castle troops there. With that, we just have to funnel one side and then the other to really push our throwers into the core, and from there, again, all of those bases are built around the range of the Archer Queen. And from there we can reach everything because we're not using the Archer Queen in the core, but instead the throwers. That is the big difference maker here. So, having taken care of the top side, and now we can do the next step. One of the invis towers, easy trigger with the giant arrow. Funnel with the siege barracks. You can, by the way, as well use the new siege machine, as I've showed you a couple of days ago, as with the super bonus, with throwing ice golems into the mix. But the king is taking nicely, so you don't really have to do that. Then jumping into the base, as I'm doing right now. And then you have the king. As soon as the king is getting targeted or about to get targeted from damage, just use the ability. We have the Rage Vial and the Gauntlet on there to really make the king as tanky as possible, while at the same time dealing a solid damage amount. You can as well use the snake equipment, but I know it's not, people don't like it as much, but I think it would fit in this army composition quite well as well. Otherwise, again, you can see the ranges of the throwers are really enabling them, and you can really punish those type of bases where typically the Archer Queen is struggling to reach the next compartment. Then, Royal Champion on the outside with the Hawk Rider puppet. She really has this extra coverage, this extra protection. And then on the back end, it's just all about just supporting your remaining heroes and the throwers. With the Rage Gem, you have just so much power. With the Life Gem, you have just so many hit points on every single troop. Heroes as well. Even the Fox, for example, is having more hit points, which means she stays alive a little bit longer, and that's protecting the Royal Champion even better than as well. We still have an Invis Tower, but to be honest, at this point, it's kind of whatever, because we have our entire army still left, and there's I don't know, we could probably triple another base with this one. The throwers are going to trigger this, yet again, because they can reach over those ranges, and then we just freeze it, Invis spells it there, and it's going to be an easy triple. So, right now what I'm trying to do with my videos, I'm trying to show you as many strategies as possible so you can really pick your favorite. Because in my opinion, the only strategy which stands out power-wise right now is the Royal Champion with the Root Rider charge. Otherwise, a lot of strategies are on a similar level power-wise. So the only thing which it comes down to is what type of strategies you like to execute the most, or what type of strategies are you the best with. This is why I'm trying to showcase you as many strategies as possible so you can pick your favorite, the one where you have the most success. Throwers, as I said, they are one of the strongest strategies in the game. Give it a try if you want to. The strategy link is as always down below in the description. And I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next one. Until then, see ya and bye bye.